millions of pounds, transferred like clockwork, while Marcus Miller was rotting behind prison walls, which raised only one question. If Marcus was locked away, who was still moving the money? The investigation uncovered something chilling. Marcus had never worked alone. The wine cellar, the place where the poison had been stored, wasn't accessible only to him. Security logs revealed another name, over and over again: Eleanor Miller, Silas's younger sister. The quiet one, the woman who smiled softly at every family dinner and said almost nothing. When police searched her flat, they found a notebook. Dates, dosages, signatures. Marcus had been the mastermind, but Eleanor had been the motive. She believed the Miller empire was slipping into the wrong hands. She saw the darkness inside Marcus and, instead of stopping it, she shaped it. When Clara discovered the truth, she reopened the case. In court, Eleanor said only one sentence: "Families don't destroy themselves overnight. They rot slowly." Marcus received life in prison. Eleanor was charged with conspiracy and attempted murder. But the greatest casualty wasn't freedom. It was trust. Clara dissolved the family foundation and withdrew from public life. Yet she did one unexpected thing every year. Anonymously, she donated millions under the estate's name. She turned poison into charity. The Miller estate was eventually demolished, erased from maps, as if the family had never existed. That's what the world believed. Until the letters began. No return address, no fingerprints, just one typed sentence on thick cream paper. The second letter included a photograph, the Miller estate recently taken. But the estate no longer existed. Standing in the center of the image was a young man Clara had never seen before. Sharp jawline, steel gray eyes. On the back of the photo, written in ink, "Bloodlines cannot be buried." Clara searched her father's hidden archives. Inside a sealed envelope labeled contingency was a birth certificate. Name: Adrian Hale. Father: Silas Miller. Date: 26 years ago Silas had a son, an illegitimate heir, one who legally outranked Clara. Then the news broke. Marcus Miller had been killed during a prison riot. Closed casket. Rapid cremation. No public identification. Someone wanted him erased or replaced. Soon after, Clara's security system glitched. Cameras blacked out for 30 seconds. When they came back online, a man was sitting in her living room, calm, tailored black suit, steel gray eyes. "Hello, cousin," he said softly. "I believe you're sitting in my father's chair." Clara didn't panic. She had learned something from Marcus. Fear is currency, and she no longer paid in it. "Adrian Hale," she replied calmly. "Or should I say, Miller?" He smiled. "Let's not rush labels." Adrian wasn't just Silas's secret son. He had been raised by powerful investors' men who once funded Silas and believed the empire should remain in stronger hands. Marcus wasn't the mastermind. He was the prototype. Adrian was the upgrade. Smarter, cleaner, no poison, no accidents, just corporate warfare. Within weeks, Clara's foundation was under investigation. Investors withdrew. Assets froze. Adrian wasn't trying to kill her. He was dismantling her. But Clara had prepared differently. She had rebuilt a Miller fortune into untouchable digital vaults, offshore trusts, and shadow partnerships. And she had one final contingency. If Adrian exposed her, proof of his illegal backing and forged identity would automatically release to global authorities. Mutual destruction. Storm clouds gathered once more. Two heirs, one empire, neither willing to bleed first. "So," Adrian said smoothly, "shall we go to war?" Clara smiled faintly. "No," she whispered. "We'll make it look like peace." Then Adrian was found dead, shot once in his penthouse. No forced entry. A message written in red across the glass wall. Clara didn't mourn, because Adrian was too careful to die like that. At the private viewing, she noticed something. The scar above his left eyebrow was missing. This wasn't Adrian. Someone had killed a substitute. Within 48 hours, her digital vaults began collapsing. Only 3 people knew her contingency system: Clara, her late father, and Marcus. A private jet landed in Iceland. Inside a glass structure carved into volcanic rock sat Marcus Miller, alive. "You always were father's favorite," he said softly. "You faked your death," Clara said. Marcus smiled. "No. Adrian faked mine." Then Adrian stepped from the shadows. Alive. They had built him together. Stage 1, remove weak heirs. Stage 2, create internal war. Stage 3, forge Clara into the perfect ruler. "You needed sharpening," Marcus said. "Fear makes diamonds." "And Adrian?" Clara asked. "He outgrew me." But Clara had been planning too. With one program transfer, every Miller asset shifted into a foundation registered under Adrian's mother's surname, the forgotten woman who died mysteriously 26 years ago. Silas hadn't hidden Adrian willingly. Marcus had forced him. Marcus's smile faded. Clara thought she had finally won. Then another letter arrived. 6 words: "You were never the target." She reopened her parents' accident file. The emergency call reporting the fire. A woman's voice. Calm, controlled. She ran voice analysis. It was her own. Her father had conditioned her. Triggers, scripts, compartmentalized memory. She hadn't defended the empire. She had been programmed to destroy it. Marcus wasn't the architect. He was a handler. Adrian wasn't the rival. He was insurance. The sealed trust wasn't for them. It was for the final survivor. Silas Miller didn't want heirs. He wanted evolution. Adrian stepped into her office one final time. "You were never fighting us," he said quietly. "You were completing him." He pulled out a biometric key. The final transfer required 2 living Miller bloodlines: Clara and him. Without Adrian alive, the empire dissolves forever. With him, it multiplies. For the first time in her life, Clara faced something she couldn't out access. No public identification. Closed casket. Immediate cremation. Someone didn't just want Marcus gone. They wanted him erased. Or replaced. And because storms always followed the Millers the night it happened, lightning split the sky above Clara's penthouse. Her security system glitched. Lights flickered once, twice. Then every camera feed went black. Exactly 30 seconds. Not 29. Not 31. 30. When the system rebooted, the feeds returned one by one. Front door, empty. Hallway, empty. Kitchen, empty. Living room, occupied. A man sat casually in her father's antique leather chair. Tailored black suit, perfect posture. Calm expression, steel gray eyes. "Hello, cousin," he said softly. "I believe you're sitting in my father's chair." Clara's pulse didn't spike, it slowed. Because Marcus had taught her something valuable. Fear is currency, and she no longer paid in it. "Adrian Hale," she said evenly. "Or should I say, Miller?" His smile widened, not defensive, not surprised, amused. "Let's not rush labels." Adrian wasn't merely Silas's hidden son. He had been cultivated, raised quietly by the same investors who once funded the Miller Empire. Men who believed power should remain in what they called stronger hands. Marcus had never truly been the architect. He had been the prototype. Adrian was the refinement. Smarter, more patient, cleaner. No poison in wine glasses. No staged accidents. Just precision. Hostile acquisitions. Boardroom ambushes. Frozen accounts. Regulatory investigations triggered by anonymous tips. Within weeks, Clara's foundation was under scrutiny. Investors withdrew cautiously at first, then all at once. Adrian wasn't trying to kill her. He was dismantling her molecule by molecule. But Clara had evolved too. While the world believed she had buried the Miller fortune in charity, she had quietly converted it. Cryptographic vaults beyond traditional seizure. Layered offshore trusts, shadow partnerships invisible to standard audits, and she had prepared a final safeguard if Adrian made a public move against her. A sealed digital file would automatically release to international authorities. Inside, evidence of his fabricated identity trails, illegal financial backing, and covert corporate manipulation. Mutual destruction, the kind that leaves no winners. Thunder rolled again, 2 heirs, 1 empire. Neither willing to draw first blood. Adrian leaned back, fingers resting lightly on the armrest that once belonged to Silas. So he asked smoothly, "Shall we go to war?" Clara studied him for a long moment. Then she smiled, small, controlled. "No," she whispered. "We'll make it look like peace." Outside, lightning illuminated the skyline, and somewhere deep beneath the city's noise, the Miller legacy stirred again, not built on love, but on survival. Marcus's smile darkened, almost approving. "He was necessary," Marcus said softly. "Adrian was the blade that cut clean. But he was never meant to rule. He was a lesson, a trial." Clara's eyes narrowed. Every instinct in her screamed danger, yet she felt no fear. Years of subtle training of her father's cold contingency plans had prepared her for this moment. "So the Empire, all of this chaos," she said slowly, "was to forge me?" Marcus leaned back, hands steepled. "Exactly. Every betrayal, every poison, every ghost of the past was to test the steel within you, to see if you were strong enough to sit in the throne my father built for the one who could survive it all." Clara's lips curved into a faint, cold smile. "And now?" "Now," Marcus whispered, "you finish what we started, or destroy it completely." A silence fell, broken only by the crackle of the fire. Outside, volcanic steam hissed against the glass walls. Clara realized she wasn't just inheriting an empire, she was inheriting a war, one that had been decades in the making. And in that moment, she understood. Survival wasn't enough. She had to become the predator, not the prey. She rose slowly, eyes glinting. "Then let's begin," she said.